Hi students, Mrs. Sims here. Today we are going to switch from talking about surface area to talking about volume. So please, if you don't already, have out your notes and turn to the volume of prisms page. We're going to start there today. So you just took a quiz over surface area. So you remember that surface area is the amount of space on the outside of a figure. It's like the wrapping paper, or if you were painting the outside of a box, how much paint you would need to completely cover the outside. Volume is the opposite of that because volume is the inside. It's how much stuff can fit inside of a prism, a cylinder, whatever it is. So today we're going to start with just rectangular prisms, but the formula that I'm going to give you today is going to work for most all of our shapes. It's going to work for triangular prisms, it's going to work for cylinders, and it's going to lead us to pyramids later next week. So please follow along with the formula and make sure you're taking notes. So volume is the amount of space that completely fills, is the word there, the inside. So we're talking about the stuff inside, the amount of space inside a three-dimensional shape, like how much water a container can hold. Unlike surface area, when you're measuring volume, the units are going to be cubed. This is a three-dimensional measurement. You can think of it like how many little 1 by 1 by 1 cubes would fit inside of a shape. So the units are cubed because it's how many cubes are going to fit inside. Now, when we're finding the volume of any prism, or this also works for cylinders, you're going to find the area of the base and multiply it by the height. Now, you may have already done volume of rectangular prisms as just length times width times height, and that's fine and that works, but I'm giving you this formula, area of the base times height, because that will work for not only rectangular, but also triangular, cylinders, and all of our other shapes. So here is your formula. Capital V equals capital B times H. The V obviously stands for volume, and the H stands for height. It's the capital B that I want you to be aware of. So it's not a lowercase b. It's not the length of the base. It's a capital B, uppercase, because it is the area of the base. So whatever the base is, if the base is a rectangle, you find the area of that rectangle. If the base is a circle, you find the area of that circle. If the area is a triangle, find the area of that triangle. But so it's the area of the base times the height. So I'm going to do just a couple of examples, but then we're going to focus mostly on rectangular, even though I'm going to give you a couple different examples. So here we have this rectangular prism, looks like a tissue box, and let's always write the formula. Volume equals capital B, area of the base, times the height. So if you think about the base, when it's a rectangular prism, base is just kind of whatever bottom it's sitting on. There's not necessarily one particular base, but in this picture, I see this section as the base. So if I was going to find the area of that section, it's a rectangle. So I would do 6 times 12. Well, 6 times 12 is 72. So the base has an area of 72. So if you think about it like the little cubes, I could fit 72 cubes on the bottom of this box. Like the bottom layer of the box, I could layer 6 by 12s, basically 72 different little cubes on the bottom of the box. And then I take that area of the base and I multiply it by how tall the box is, or how many layers of stuff I could fit inside. So 1 layer is the bottom, that's the area of the base. And because there's a height of 3 inches, I take that times 3 so that I can get the total volume of the box. So the base was 72, so you could fit 72 cubes on the bottom layer, and then there's basically 3 layers tall. That's the height. So 72 times 3 is 216. Again, this is inches cubed. The units are cubed in volume. Okay, let's do the cylinder as well. So same formula. Volume equals area of the base times the height. This time the base is a circle, so we would need to find the area of that circle. So to find area of a circle, we do the formula for area of a circle, which is pi times radius squared. So you remember pi is 3.14. The radius of this circle is 8. and 8 squared. Remember, 8 squared means 8 times 8, not 8 times 2. So basically, pi times 8 squared is 64. So pi times 64 gives me 200.96. And that's how many little cubes would fit at the bottom of the cylinder. And then I multiply that by how tall the whole thing is. So times a height of 15. And that is 3,014.4 centimeters cubed. So that's how many cubes would fit inside of that cylinder. Okay, let's move on to the back. I want you to try that first one. So pause the video and you do that first one. Okay, hopefully you've had a chance to do this rectangular prism on your own. So we're going to use our formula, area of the base times the height. So the base is this rectangle right here. So the area of that rectangle would be 5 by 4, which is 20. And then we take that times the height of the whole prism, which is 3. And 20 times 3 gives us 60 inches cubed. Hopefully that's what you got as well. Okay, let's do this triangular prism together. So the formula remains the same. Area of the base times the height. But this time the base is this triangle. So when we're looking for the area of the base, we're looking for the area of this triangle right here. So remember the formula for area of a triangle. It is base times height divided by 2. And that's little b. That's just the length of the base. That's not area of the base. So when we're talking about base and height on a triangle, we're always looking for the 90-degree angle. So it looks like 12 and 10 are at a 90-degree angle. So I would say the base of that triangle is 10. The height of that triangle is 12. 10 times 12 is 120. When we half that, we get 60. So that means the area of the base is 60. And then I think about how tall the entire prism is. And so that's the 16. So that's the height. So we would do 60 times 16 to get the volume of this one. Let's see what that is. 60 times 16 is 960, and that would be meters cubed. Okay, I'd like you to pause the video and do this next triangular prism on your own. Okay, hopefully you had a chance to do this prism on your own. Area of the base, so the base is going to be this triangle. And so the formula for area of a triangle is little base times height divided by 2. We are always looking for the 90-degree angle. So the base of that triangle is 16. The height of that triangle is 6. So we're going to multiply those together. And I got 96. But then we're going to half that because triangles are half of a rectangle. So the area of the base of this triangle is 48. So that means 48 little cubes would fit right there on the bottom layer. And then we multiply that by how tall the entire prism is, the height of the prism, which in this case, the height is 8. So 48 times 8 is going to give us 384 inches cubed. Okay, for the next one, we don't know the formula for how to find the area of a, what is that, 1, 2, 5, a pentagon. So they have given you, notice how they've given you capital B. They've given you the area of the base. So they're telling you this section or this section, whichever one, has an area of 60. So you don't have to do any calculation to find the area of that base. You just have to take the area of the base that they've given you, which is 60 feet squared, and multiply that by the height of the entire prism, which is 5 feet. So 60 times 5 is going to give you 300. Feet squared times feet is going to give you your feet cubed. Okay. Last one, I would like you to pause the video and see if you can find the area the volume of this cylinder. Okay, for the cylinder, you would have done area of the base. This time the base is a circle, so that's pi times radius squared. So 3.14 times 4 squared. 4 squared is 16, so 16 times pi is 50.24. That's how many cubes would fit on the bottom layer, and then we multiply that by the height of the entire cylinder, which is 10. So hopefully you got 502.4 meters cubed. Okay. You are going to work on your practice for the rest of class. I will see you soon. Please work well and independently and make sure you're showing all of your work on your paper. Good luck.